negative headline, not a positive headline, because we've actually got fewer properties are in rates or arrears. That's a good story.
Yeah, totally.
Gary,
thank you.
I was just going to make similar points to Beck's really, is that this is actually, if you can be encouraged by rates arrears, and I mean, no one wants to see rates arrears, but this is a really good result from that point of view. Probably shows, and the thing for me that it shows the work that the staff are doing to engage with ratepayers who are in arrears is working well. You know, as Bex just said then, we do get a lot of negative comment about this sort of thing, but when you look at the figures and you compare us with other councils, we're doing pretty good.
All right. Any further comments, questions, Councillor Tim?
Just that, so the number of people in arrears has gone down significantly, are we saying?
55 less than last year.
Yep.
Yep. So, it's still tracking upwards generally.
Because the rates are more expensive.
Yeah. Oh, the rates are more expensive. Okay. And so last year was there 30 to 40 people a day coming in to apply for rates rebates, David? Or has that come down as well?
No, it's similar amounts. Yeah. And in fact, it's probably more. This year we've had a rush in the last week of people trying to book appointments for next week before the 20th.
Oh, sounds like a good news story.
On page 89, Tim, it says how many people have got rates rebates this year compared to last year. Last year was 1,245, this year was 1,235. So 10 fewer people got rates rebates this year.
Oh, yeah, so last year it was 1,245 and this year it's 1,235.
Okay. Question? Just conscious of time, I don't want to be here till midnight.
David, I'm sorry, I should know this, but how often are you allowed to ask for a rate?
Once a year, and it can be any time in the financial year to the 30th of June. But if you don't apply in the year, you can't retrospectively get it for the year before.
Thank you. Any further?
Just one more. Is the process difficult to apply for a rates rebate?
No.
So it's just so most people would, if they meet the criteria, they'll get that rates rebate.
Yes, and they need to know their income, or at least tell us what benefit they might be on, and we can work out what that income is. And if they have to then declare what other income they have, if it's interest or other forms of income, rent from somebody who lives in their house, they have to declare that and sign a form saying that that declaration's made. We don't do any investigative work on that.
Yeah, so the process is easy. If you meet the criteria, the process is easy.
Yes.
Thank you.
And just
sorry, Councillor Mayor, thank you.
Yeah, David, I just want to, you've said in the past and just checking again, when you talk about rates arrears, you're not necessarily talking about people who are sort of economically disadvantaged. This can be right across the spectrum, people get behind in their rates.
Yes, there's some large property owners who don't regularly pay their rates, and we have to go to their mortgagee, and they get it put on their mortgage.
Okay, thank you.
More our business encouragement scheme, but the fact that the rates go up quite a lot, and the numbers of properties has gone down.
Numbers in arrears.
Yes, number of arrears, and that probably colours that. You understand this graph better than me. The fact that over the last, say, couple of years, the rates have gone up a lot. So
your point being?
Property, I'm just asking for clarification. So that would help explain, the trend to not increase for the number of properties.
Move on. Right, I think we need to move on, otherwise we'll be here all day. Yeah. Right? Talk to the officer after the meeting. Right. Can I just say too is that the rates receivable for the previous year is a relatively low number, so the issue that appeared in Tararua wouldn't appear here.
Can you say that again, sir?
Because your prior year period arrears has been well documented on the top of page 89. The issue that Tararua had, where they got people got behind in their direct debits, and there was no catch-up, would not have happened here, because that would be, if that was the case, that red number would be significantly higher.
Was that a systems fault in Tararua?
Systems and personnel.
Well,
Systems, process and personnel.
we don't want to get involved with them, those cowboys.
They've solved the problem, but it made big headlines. Right. Right? Yeah. Let's right, move on.
We have a question on laterals next.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. With no further discussion, right, can I have a move that we receive the report? The Mayor's Bex. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Carried. Next item, 5.12, insurance update, page 91. David again.
Everyone's favourite topic is insurance and risk.
Well done.
So we have good news this time in terms of the material damage premium has come down, and a number of reasons, but the market competition is the largest reason for it. The other policies haven't come down by as much or at all, but it does improve our ability in this financial year to stay within budget, and the reporting through the year there may be opportunities to reallocate budget if there's a 300,000 saving already in the insurance area.
What do you mean reallocate?
Well, I don't want to be in a position this time next year to say we're 300,000 underspent. What should we do with it?
No,
If
I
there's an
suppose I'm
opportunity,
asking, you're not going to spend it on something else.
the council will have an opportunity to reallocate if there's better or opportunities that come forward within the financial year where there wouldn't have been budget otherwise.
Council's prerogative. Move. Right, any further questions? Any comments? Do I have a move for the recommendation? Councillor Goodwin, seconded. Councillor Craig. Any further discussion on the recommendation? All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
It's carried. The next item, the Treasury Management Reports sent out under separate cover. Thank you, David, again.
Yeah, apologies for the late delivery of this report. There's quite a lot of information in it. It details the investments portfolio the council has and the borrowing level versus what was planned. The returns on the investment funds that the council has held through the last financial year. The one thing of note is that we moved fund managers from ANZ Investment Bank to Fisher Funds in a product called the New Zealand Fixed Interest Fund that's managed by Fisher Funds. That went through a tender process to do that last year. That was in September last year, but the first 2 months of the year the bond market achieved some good income in terms of the market value movements, and since then it has as well. So overall those externally managed fixed interest fund has returned 7.28% return based on its market movements, with a 0.06% fees. So it's a good value investment, returning a reasonable amount for low fees, because it's the money is invested in a range of fixed interest instruments and managed as a fund. So there's not a lot of active management of the funds, but there's still safe return at market rates, and in this case better the market index. Other than that, the debt is 66.4 million at the end of the financial year. Total external debt, all with LGFA, and 5 million of that is held waiting to be applied to repay a bond in July. It was used to repay the bond in July, so the current debt is 61.4 million.
Now. Not July.
Now, as
Yep,
it
okay.
as it today.
Right.
And other than that, everything within the compliance of the Treasury Management Policy as far as the amount of fixed versus floating on the debt and the amount of forward contracts for the bonds. That we've got a spread of bonds out into the next 5 years. So that's on the last page of the report.
Thank you. Questions? Councillor Tim, Councillor Craig.
What, on page 7, what's, and you've got the bar graph, what's an internal loan? What does that mean? How does that work?
Over a number of years, we've not borrowed externally, but used funds internally. So where there's been money in the bank, we've applied that money to capital projects and logged it as an internal loan. And there's a range of different projects, and those loans have a loan table that sits behind them, and we're repaying it over 20 years, I think it's 20, and charging ourselves interest. So instead of that money being in the bank earning a deposit interest, we're paying ourselves the interest and paying less than we would be paying if we borrowed the money externally.
So is it like using reserves?
It's using reserves, but it's logging it so that we make sure we've taken account of it and the use that it's been put to. So if we spend it on a water asset, the water activity is being charged interest for it. As it would if we had borrowed that money externally. So there's $7 million, 7 point something million of internal loans and 60 million of external. So it's a small proportion. We haven't used the internal borrowing for at least 3 financial years. Generally where we have debt in our plan, we would borrow externally for that debt.
All right. Any further questions? Thank you, Councillor. Oh, Councillor.
I'm just trying to work, David, on page 7, I think it is. Basically, just trying to work out our actual available funds for possible investments. So we have total investments under management. We have pre-funding of 5 million. We then have approximate corporate bonds of 2 million, and there's some rats and mice in there. So if we were to say funds available for possible investment, would it be about 18 million? Look at that.
14 million is what that
Yep.
special funds investment total that you're referring to. That is,
But we would then include the Westpac 00 account on that?
no, that's
It's just a working capital.
work capital funds.
Okay. Yep.
Good. Thank you. I got Jack. Thanks, Jack.
Actually, no, it's, I don't think
Okay,
it's
thank
a
you.
question.
On page 7, what is the Wainui Water Supply ANZ?
We have a depreciation fund for the Wainui water supply, that, and we separately invest a portion of that money on their behalf. The scheme is managed by a separate committee, and they've asked that they can identify their balance, and it's invested separately.
So we just look after it.
No, it's council funds because it's a council scheme, but we identify it as relating to their depreciation fund.
Go Councillor Craig.
So out of that 14 million, we have 7 approximately in Fisher funds, which means returning a bit over 7%. If we were to, with that other 7 million, if there was to be an investment we could find that would return more than the Fisher funds, would that be something council would look at, paying cash for that investment instead of borrowing?
So
This is a hypothetical question.
It is cash. It is cash already.
That's how you lose money.
So that is cash.
Yep.
Was it as in it's money that they hold, and if we asked them to pay it back, it would be money in our bank. It depends on what the risk is that surrounds that investment, and the revenue and finance, the treasury management policy has a risk-averse basis. So any better return on investment usually comes with a level of risk, a greater level of risk. So assessing what that is would be part of any proposal that we look to increase our return. And that return is for that 12 months. The current level of return on that bond fund is more like 4% now.
Thank you. Councillor David.
My question just was about the one area water scheme. That money's put aside there in case of a major problem, but they do have a working account as well, don't they? Just to clarify.
Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Stella.
Very basic question, but with our special funds investments, when they come off their terms and we've earned some interest, where does the interest go? Does it go back into the investment, or can we offset it into a special account, or spend it somewhere?
It's accumulated within the council's special funds and reserves account, and used to offset interest on borrowing, mostly on Homebush and Riversdale.
So we use it to save us pennies in the long
to
run.
reduce rates.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions? Any comments? No comments. Do I have therefore a mover for the recommendation? Councillor Goodwin, Councillor Craig. No further discussion. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Can I have a mover? We move into public excluded. Vex, David. Recording stopped. Live stream stopped.